Welcome back, Muse Crew. So today we are going to do a speed paint of an iris. So my motivation for this painting was to practice painting with a limited palette. In the past, I used to use too many colors and the painting wasn't as cohesive. So for this one, I limited myself to just a handful of colors. I'm painting this iris on Arches hot pressed watercolor block, and I believe it was the 9x12 size. So for the iris, I'm painting mostly using quinacridone rose and manganese blue from Mgram. And then for the deepest tones, I did use dioxazine purple by Core. On the leaves, I am using Mgram's Phthalo Green for the darker tones, and for the lighter tones, I am using Core's Green Gold. For those mid-tones, I mixed the two colors to get a blend of them so that you had kind of this ombre look. For the brushes, I am using my silver black velvet brush. Majority of the iris is done with my size 4, but I move up to the size 8, and I think also I have a size 12 that I worked on the background for. I painted this iris in a few different sessions. This is, I think, my second or third one. Some of my paintings only take about an hour, hour and a half, and other paintings like this one take quite a few days. I think on total, I maybe spent about 16 to 20 hours on this iris. So I just gave you the block of time where I did a lot of the detail work. So for long painting sessions like this, I can't just sit in silence. There are times where I will listen to music. I'm obsessed with Frozen 2's soundtrack. I've played that over quite a few times, and if I added the audio, you would hear me belting to Into the Unknown, which is sometimes good, but oftentimes not. But for this session, I am watching Tokyo Ghoul because I'm obsessed with anime, and I think I was up to season 4, which is the last season, and I was like down to the last few episodes. So I ended up finishing the show during this painting session. Comment down below what animes you watch. I would love to learn some new ones and talk to you about my favorite ones. So for this portion of the iris, I am trying to deepen up the darker tones as well as add some more detail to lighter tones and blend the transition in between them. I wanted to show a lot of color for the veins, but still leave some white. This was one of my first attempts at a more intricate flower, and personally, I am my toughest critic. I think we all are. And I wasn't a fan of this one, but when I did post the finished product on Instagram, it was one of my most liked photos, which was a huge surprise to me and definitely solidified the idea that we can sometimes be way too harsh on ourselves, and art is about expression and enjoying the process. And I don't know if you can see with how I'm moving my hands and how everything just comes so naturally to me. I definitely enjoyed painting this iris. So while we're on the topic of being our toughest critic, very close to when I painted this iris, I think about 2 days before, I did a painting of a poppy, and I did it in a fast, feverish flurry. I think I even did it in silence, and I really love poppies. I love the bold color, and I love the detail, and they're just so whimsical to me. But I hated this painting. I hated this painting so much that I gave it away to someone I didn't even know before it was even dry. I did make sure to sign it, and and to take a picture, and I uploaded that one on Instagram as well, and it became another one of my most popular photos. Paintings, most popular paintings. But that is more evidence to me that I just need to trust the process, and there's always going to be someone out there who loves your art. And if you are into art and music and all of that, I just want you guys to take that message, that there is always going to be someone that loves it, and just hold on to that truth. So in this portion here, I am going in and darkening up those leaves a bit. I am making sure to add a gloss of water so that this transition from light to dark and vice versa and in between is smooth and it doesn't look patchy. And honestly, I was actually pretty happy with how this came out. So in some in-between portions of this video, you do see moments where I pause and take a second. Sometimes I am stretching for 2 seconds, or switching my brush, or cleaning my brush, or taking a drink of water, or oftentimes I'm just taking a second to glance at my painting. It takes a minute to just look at it and absorb where you've been and try to figure out where you're going with everything. It's really good to just reflect on your painting. There are times where I will stop for a whole 20 minutes. Sometimes I will stop for a few hours and not look at the painting at all, and then come back and see how the painting makes me feel. But for this one, I just took quick moments, 5 minutes here and there, just to see where I wanted to go with it. And then unfortunately, there was a big jump just right there. I got a phone call while I was recording. Oops, noob's mistake. I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode. But I think this was like maybe my second time recording, and I've gotten a little better at that now. So now I have slowed down the speed a little bit, and I have come to the point where I'm just putting the final finishing touches on this. And I accepted that it was done and it was time to sign it. So I just want to remind you all to make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also click the notification bell so you know every time I post a video, and subscribe. Leave comments down below on other videos that you'd like to see me upload. Take care, everyone.